Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean. So you guys asked for this video and I made it. The communication style of Koreans that sometimes shocks foreigners. So what do I mean by this? I'll give you an example. I was at a party one time with some foreigner and Korean friends, and I was with my Korean girlfriend. One of our Korean friends looked at me and my girlfriend and said, "Wow, Sean, she's way better looking than you." Don't worry, I wasn't offended by this. She didn't say it to be mean, but it was definitely kind of shocking. I've also sometimes heard my Korean friends say things like, "Oh, you've gained weight," or I'm fat now, I gained a lot of weight. Or they'll say about themselves in front of a bunch of people, "Oh, I need to lose weight, I'm fat now." And as an American, it's kind of awkward to hear this kind of stuff because we never talk about ourselves in this brutally honest way in front of other people. And I know not all Koreans say things like this, but it's pretty common and I'm used to it now. So I decided to go around Seoul and ask some foreigners what they think of this communication style, with particular emphasis on the brutal honesty. This was a very interesting video and I hope you guys enjoy it. Also, if you're currently studying English, I highly recommend you join my channel membership. Without further ado, let's begin. Hey, how's it going? Where are you from?
Hi, I'm from Venezuela.
I'm so curious, during your time here, you're hanging out with Koreans, you're making Korean friends.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like the difference in communication style?
They're direct.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like that because in my home country, sometimes people say, sorry for the word, bullshit. But here, they're really honest and direct. But sometimes it can hurt you a little bit. Like here, I don't know why, every time I go clubbing, all the boys, they look at me, but they look and say like, "Oh, you're so petite." I'm like, yeah, I know. I can't do anything about it, that my height, I can figure it out. I can be taller.
Hi, I'm from Armenia.
I am from Kurdistan.
So in Armenia, if you have a big nose, that's not something you would brag about.
Yeah.
A lot of people go do some plastic surgery to have smaller noses.
Interesting.
Ajuma
Yeah.
was like looking at me and my friend, so we have Armenian noses, of course, and she was like, "Oh, 코 진짜 크다." I don't know. I think Koreans when say that, that's a compliment.
Yeah, I
think so.
Yeah.
But for us, it was like, oh my gosh, we have big noses.
How's it going? Where are you from?
France.
Morocco. Since we both of us have curly hair, I think they're not really used to see that. Since they associate, I think, brown people with like Bruno Mars, they usually say, "Oh, Bruno Mars, that's your song," and I'm like, "That's not my song." But yeah, I think but like it's more in a funny way, not really insulting way. I feel like.
Hey, how's it going? Where are you from?
I'm from the US. Like let's say I ask them how this outfit looks on me, they'll be like, "No." Can you try that one on? But I mean, that's pretty good because, you don't leave playing for something that doesn't look good on you. So,
Exactly. Right. So actually the feedback, you can trust it, right?
yes, I've had pretty honest conversations with my friends, and I feel like that has made me become closer to them in such a short frame. Yeah.
I think it's more like in a helpful way. They're gonna be like, it's not gonna look good, so just like change, go with something else.
Hey guys, how's it going? Where are you from?
Pretty good, man. I'm from Montreal, Canada. I'm from France, Paris. We both met in Taekwondo Club. Yeah, I remember a lot of instances of them being very direct. Whenever you miss practices sometime, or like you're not there, they'll ask you direct, like, why we're not there? Why you're not responding to messages? Why didn't you tell me you weren't gonna come? Why didn't you? So like it's more direct, and honestly, I like that better.
You like it better?
Yeah.
Right now, I was just buying makeup, and the girls are like, "Oh my God, you look so tired." And I don't know if it was true, but it was true. I was tired, but I didn't want to hear that. Now I buy some makeup for today because I don't want to look tired anymore.
Once I did not do makeup and I went to the university and my professor looked at me and she was like, "Oh, condition 안 좋아하네." 이렇게. I was like, "No, I'm just not wearing makeup. It's not my condition. My condition is great."
So this kind of like feedback on your appearance, actually Americans are more
They're
indirect.
more sensitive about it.
And we give answers that comfort people,
Yeah,
even if it's lying.
literally.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's lying.
The other day I was in Oli Jones seeing all this diet process. Should I buy it or not? Because I don't want to stop eating Korean food. So I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then my friends in Venezuela said, "But you look so good. You look like happy and happier. Even you're like puffy. And I was like, "Okay, thank you." Yeah, here's honestly, 100%. No filter.
Which one do you prefer?
I like both.
Oh.
Actually like both. That's why I think I love Korea, because I appreciate that kind of honesty. And it's really hard to be that honest. If you see my countries, if you be that honest, they will think that you're so rude, or like, why you're so mean, you don't like me, you are my enemy, something like that. And here it's not. You're just like being them, they just care about their identity. So they say, this is me, you're fat, it's okay. And you say, okay, I know, and finish. So I like that brutal honesty, even though it can hurt a little bit.
In my country, at least, it's like the person wants to say something, but they say something else just to make you feel better. But I feel like if you eliminate that, it makes like communication is just a lot easier. And maybe it might hurt your ego a little bit, but at least you understand the point. It gets easier when you understand they don't mean anything they say in a bad way.
Yeah, but it's not like rude type of honesty. Yeah.
And it's shocking at first, right?
Yes, very. Yeah, because when I first came here, I thought they're really shy and really hard to talk to at first. But when you get to talk to them, then they're pretty direct.
But I really think that it has to do with how they were growing up in South Korea. In South Korea, people talk a lot about physique. We saw advertisement about
Plastic surgery.
plastic surgery. Yes.
Appearance, a lot about appearance. You know?
Yeah, a lot of those things.
And I guess the other side of it would be like sometimes when Koreans are rejecting people, they're kind of very roundabout. Like, sorry, we can't really do that. That might be kind of difficult.
Basically, they're straightforward in some aspects, which like in France or Morocco, we're like kind of indifferent. Like we don't talk about the appearance that much. Well, when we talk like let's hang out or something like that, they're gonna try to say no without really saying no. They still like they stay really vague. You don't really know what they're thinking.
It's just that when you learn Korean, there are some grammar points. For example, 을 것 같아요, or that it's in their speech. So if you speak a certain way, you seem more polite, but it's not a direct speech. So I don't know, if you do something like this, it might be better. But what they want to say is just do it this way. Okay. Just a great example is when you buy something and they are like 교환이나 환불 힘드실 거예요. That means we're not gonna exchange anything. So
no 환불. 좀 어려우세요.
어려우세요. 네, 힘드실 거예요. But it just means no.
To be honest, back home, if you lose weight, people will talk. They're like, are you not eating? Do you have a big pain? What's wrong with you? If you gain weight, then people will compliment you. So it's really different.
Oh, so
yes.
Where you're from, it's more attractive to be have more weight.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Like they really discourage people to be thin. They think they have a very big pain, or they are very stressed that their life is really going downhill.
It looks like they're not eating.
Yes, exactly. So,
that's very different from Korea.
Yes. When I came back home, they were telling me I should eat more. When I came here, they were telling me I should eat less.
Wow.
We have that similarity. Then when we want to say like no, but then I want to say like no, then it's a different kind of no. Maybe, but I really don't think so. It will be like that. We will say the same thing. And I will believe if they come to Venezuela, they're all touchy. They will feel like, oh my gosh, why are you touching me? And then they will understand why we're so touchy.
That's very different from Korea. They don't.
They don't touch.
At all here.
I have to ask permission first to touch. And in my own country, I just gotta hug you just the first time I saw you. For us, it's really normal. Here was a culture shock because I wanted to I was so happy to be here, to make friends, that I want to hug everybody. And everyone was like, please don't touch me. I was like, oh my God, I think if you're Korean and you want to talk foreigners, they will talk to you like happy because actually they're here and they want to make friends. And it's really important for us that we're living here to make lasting friendships. That's what we're looking for. And if you've never been to Korea and you want to come to Korea, it's going to be a great experience. So either one, it's great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Did you enjoy this video? If so, please let me know down below. Alright guys, I'm Sean and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Another thing I kind of stopped doing was like standing and holding the door for extended periods of time. And these doors in Korea are heavy. I'm sorry, this is off topic, but why are the doors in Korea so heavy? You ever been to the Hyundai and you open that door in the Hyundai? Bro, you're trying to open the door for someone in front of you and you're like, hold on. Okay, go in first. It's like, nah, man, the doors here are no joke. I'm not even joking. I work out and the doors are heavy for me.
Gotta drink some protein powder.
For real, get some pre-workout in before I go to the Hyundai and open that shit, because that door is not budging.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean. So today I'm going around Seoul and asking foreigners that are living here about habits that they've developed and habits that they've gotten rid of as well. It was really interesting to hear about all the different ways that people are adapting to their lives in Korea. Also, if you're currently studying English, I do English educational live streams Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Korean time. They're free and people find them very helpful, educational, and very fun. So definitely join me Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Korean time if you're studying English. Without further ado, let's begin. Hey, how's it going? Where are you from?
Hi, so my name is Shane and I'm from the Philippines. I currently live in Korea and I do YouTube.
And I interviewed you last time and you said you're actually half Korean, correct?
Yeah. Like my dad is Korean and my mom is Filipino.
Now, after having lived here for 2 years, any habits that you've seen yourself acquire? Like you've acquired this habit of doing this or that?
I feel like when I'm with my Korean family, I get a lot more Koreanized.
Yeah.
And then I'm just kind
and what
of
does
like,
that look like? Just like kind of smaller and like
more shy.
Are you? Is it true?
Well, I'm a little bit shy in Korean, I would say. I even say like I'm an ENFJ, I'm an MBTI, but I feel like when I speak in Korean, I turn into like an INFJ. I get like a lot more shy. I guess one thing in the Philippines too, like a lot of people do is like pointing things with their mouth. I don't know if you've heard about this.
What does that mean?
So like, you know, like if you want to say, oh, can you get like that remote over there?
Okay.
Can you get that?
Whoa. Whoa, that's crazy.
We would make like a kissy face and like that's like how we point.
That's
at
your
things.
finger.
Yeah, that's our finger. Yeah, we just, can you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that as much anymore, I realize.
Have you tried to do that here and people are like, what on earth are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I tried it once. I didn't realize. I think it was with my boyfriend and I was like, can you get that? And he was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Interesting. And he's Korean?
He is Korean.
Okay.
Like, who are you making kissy faces at?
Yeah.
My name is Jay, and I'm from Texas. Another thing I kind of stopped doing was like standing and holding the door for extended periods of time.
Oh, interesting.
This is something that is so pinnacle, especially in Texas. Like we really care about that Southern hospitality and like basic manners, like, you know, asking people how they're doing, even if they're strangers, or opening the door and not just closing it when they're right behind you. I still hold the door in Korea, and I know other Korean people do, but the length of time that we hold the door is different. In Korea, it's like, okay. But in America, I swear, I'm standing there, I'm like, no, come. I'm like the doorman. I'm legit the doorman in America. I'm holding the door, and these doors in Korea are heavy. I'm sorry, this is off topic, but why are the doors in Korea so heavy? I'm trying to go into a Starbucks and that door is like making me like kind of pull some weight. You ever been to the Hyundai and that you open that door in the Hyundai? Bro, you're trying to open the door for someone in front of you and you're like, hold on. Okay, go in first. It's like, nah, man, the doors here are no joke. I'm not even joking. I work out and the doors are heavy for me.
Gotta drink some protein powder.
For real, like get some pre-workout in before I go to the Hyundai and open that shit, because that door is not budging.
Hey guys, how's it going? Where are you from?
Hi, I'm from France.
I'm from Spain.
I'm also from Spain.
While living here in South Korea, I'm curious about any habits that you've acquired. You've started doing these things you didn't even realize.
When you are eating, also they make like this kind of eating sounds.
Yeah, when eating.
Because they feel like, oh, if I do sounds when I'm eating, it's because I'm enjoying the food so much. So sometimes when I'm with Korean people and they cook for me or something, I sometimes do a bit.
Interesting. So you're chewing loudly to show them that
or open mouth
this is
also.
good, you know?
Yeah.
So quiet eating means it's not good food, right?
Yeah, it's like you are not crazy enjoying what is it. It's like, oh my god, you have to express it. You're like Korean people think that you have to express it with sounds.
I don't like
that you are
that.
enjoying the food. I mean, in my country is like the opposite. You have to be silent and close
Is that
mouth.
right? Really? Hey, how's it going? Where are you from?
Nice to meet you. My name is Flower and I am from South Africa.
So how long have you been in Korea?
Too long. So long I should be a K-pop star by now. And 한국말 못해요. 10 years.
10 years. Wow, it's a long time.
Yes.
Longer than me.
This is a gross one, but the fact that, you know, I now throw my toilet paper from the toilet in the trash can, not flush it down the toilet.
I love this specific.
Sorry, yo, but, you know, that's the Korean way.
It's
you know,
so
it's so
specific.
gross. Right, but don't you do that too?
You gotta read the sign. Read the sign. If the sign says trash can, you gotta follow the sign.
I mean, I've really had to become a good Korean citizen, you know, and just force myself, as gross as I find it, to put it in the trash can if that's what the sign says. In South Africa, we love being barefoot. We love not wearing shoes. Like, I would never wear shoes in South Africa unless I absolutely have to.
Outside or inside?
Inside, outside, you know, like I used to be barefoot all the time back home. I'd go to the shopping center barefoot.
Really?
Yes, really.
Wow.
And this is just a me thing though, not necessarily like I don't think every South African does this, but we're a lot more chilled
but
about
there's people
like,
who do that.
Yeah, we're a lot more chilled about that kind of thing. And here it's like a massive, no, you know, so now I'm I'm very diligent about putting on my slippers, inside the house and making sure I'm wearing shoes all the time. Right, yeah.
One thing that I developed in Korea was this pali feeling, this rush that I can't wait for something to happen, right? Like, for example, I might be trying to ride the elevator and the elevator's on the 9th floor and I press that thing and I'm still like, it's been 20 seconds, where is this elevator? And I'm like, it's still not here. And in America, I used to be cool with just waiting and chilling and just using my phone. But now I'm just like, bruh, like, can this elevator be any slower? Korean elevators are fast as hell. That's the funny part. But I'm still more impatient than before. I'm the problem. It's me.
Yeah.
It's not the elevators. So
there's so many cultural differences, specifically between South Africa and Korea. But some basic stuff, the fact that in my bag over here.
Okay. You brought your bag.
I brought my bag, yes.
Okay.
In South Africa, wearing makeup and stuff's not really a very big thing that a lot of women do. We're pretty natural in South Africa. If we put on lipstick, it's like a big deal.
Yeah.
But you will now find that I will not go anywhere in Korea without my makeup bag and, our little makeup selfie kits. I'm sure everyone knows this one.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm constantly checking myself in the mirror.
Yeah, on the subway.
On the subway, yeah, along with all the local girls. The fact that my bag now I'm never without wet tissue in my bag. And I'm sure a lot of people will relate to this one. The selfie stick.
Oh.
The embarrassing
Do you actually
part.
use that a lot?
I do.
Hey, how's it going? Where are you from?
Hi, really good, thank you. I'm from the UK, London. I feel like here is so safe. I walk back at night. I don't even think about who's around me, if people are following me or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I see people leaving their stuff, like personal stuff, belongings and stuff, on the table or the place they go and just leave. I'm wondering for them, when they come to places like the UK, if they do that, obviously everyone's going to steal their stuff. So.
Yeah, it might be an easy target. So, he's Korean, let's take his phone. He's going to go to the bathroom soon, right?
That's sad, actually. That's sad. The whole world should be like here, like more open and safe. Yeah.
In America, it's just quite dangerous in like certain places. So I'm always on my guard because of that. So even if it's like a female that's kind of like walking behind me closely, I'm quite uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah, I hate it.
I don't like it.
Why
When
are you so
someone's
close?
walking behind me and it's like they're matching my speed.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm always kind of, I'm even looking in reflections of the car to see where their eyes are at.
Yeah, or the shadows
That's just
too.
being an American thing,
Yeah, because I'm like, are you trying to mask your sound?
Yeah,
like,
you're
why
trying
the
to
hell
rob
are
me
you
something.
matching my pace?
Right.
Like, man and woman, I don't care. Like, what's going on? Because in America, it's like you can get robbed regardless of your gender or what you identify
It don't
as.
matter.
This is just my American mindset.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a habit that's improving.
I mean, I definitely started drinking a lot more coffee coming to Korea.
Oh yeah.
It's
Ice-
really bad.
ice Americano.
Ice Americano. Yeah, it's been bad. I've been having like withdrawals and stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah, like when I don't drink coffee, I get headaches.
Wow.
Yeah, because like obviously I have to wake up early for class and everything.
중독.
and- yeah.
The only thing that shocked me, the diversity, which is not that much happening here. Most of the people are obviously Asian, we're in Asia, but I feel like there are just a few tourists. There's not so much diversity compared to London, where everyone's diverse, so much like opened. I feel like local people tend to look at tourists a lot more on a curious way, not at all, not bad at all, just on a curious way. So that's the big difference I see.
Would you say that the diversity helps you to relax more because it's like, okay, well I'm different, but everyone else is different, so we're all the same in that we're all different.
Yeah, so that's what I love about London, is that everyone's different, everyone is around, we're living in the same community, and no one's looking at no one because everyone's different, and that's the great stuff. Then here, when they saw someone different, they look at them. But at least I stand out of the crowd, so...
Yeah, maybe that's a
right?
good thing.
Yeah,
Could be a good thing.
I like that.
Well, I'd like to say that I've started to conform to Korea's way of dressing, but as you can see, I'm not. I still very much show my skin. I know that's a big one in Korea, actually showing your chest is the height of being like promiscuous,
Totally normal where you live.
Yes, yeah, this is fine. I mean, I got so many looks today on the subway, I'm sure I gave a heart attack to half the old ladies today because I'm showing too much skin.
Maybe that's slowly changing in South Korea though, do you think?
I think so, yeah, for sure. Definitely like the younger generation.
You've been here 10 years, you've seen Korea slowly change,
I think I've seen like 4 presidents as well, right? I mean, how many presidents have we been through in this country?
One thing I thought of that I allow in Korea that I wouldn't have done in America or allowed in America was letting people touch me. But when it comes to like, for example, let's say I just finished a workout and like I'm in the gym, I'm cool with the people in the gym, like some of the trainers, whatever. Guys, more specifically. If I'm wearing a tank top that shows my arms or whatever, sometimes they like, you know, touching each other. Like that's just a thing that I've just noticed is just more accepted here. Like guys just touching each other. I've noticed girls linking arms as well, and I think that in the States they do that. But like guys touching each other and being more physical is something I noticed that is a bit more accepted here than in the States.
Yeah.
So I allow it more because it's like not weird. It's like, they're like, whoa, your muscles are freaking huge. Like your bicep is gigantic. Can I touch? I'm like, sure, bruh. And then like, wow, man, I want to work hard like you too. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not that weird. Like you get used to it over time. You feel me? I did have that happen one time where I went somewhere and like I was wearing something that was like more revealing, and the worker there, he was a really cool guy, like just chatting with me. But then he was like, yo, like, can I touch your arm? And I was like, sure. Yeah, really. And he was like, yeah. In the case of like the trainers at like the gym I go to, sometimes we just are so cool and comfortable with each other. And I guess physical touch is one way that people express that closeness with each other, if it's not like in a weird way, obviously. So that's something that I'm like, I'm not trying to have anybody that I don't know touching me in the first place. But like here, I'm a bit more open to it just because people are just kind of chill about that type of stuff.
Right. This has been amazing. Thank you so much, Jay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you so much.
See you.
Bye. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Did you enjoy this video? If so, please let me know in the comments down below. Once again, I'm Sean, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. 안녕하세요, 여러분. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean. So I have a really interesting video for you guys today. I recently interviewed some French exchange students who are studying at Yonsei University. They talked about how difficult it was for them to make Korean friends, and they went into the reasons as to why they thought that. I thought it would be interesting to compare the experience of them, students studying here for only 4 months, with my experience, someone who's been living in Korea for around 9 years. Throughout the interview, I will be giving my opinions and my commentary as a fluent Korean-speaking foreigner who's been living in Korea for around 9 years. They say some controversial things in this video, but I think it's beautiful because they're giving their honest feedback and their honest opinions. So please have an open mind and be nice to them in the comment section because they say some good things about Korea as well. Also, if you're currently studying English, I highly recommend you join my channel membership. Without further ado, let's begin. Hey guys, how's it going? Where are you from?
France.
France.
US. Okay. How long have you been in Korea?
Since February.
Yeah, about 4 months.
Do you find it difficult to make Korean friends here?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's really difficult because of the language barrier and like all the cultural differences. There are exceptions, like if you go to some neighborhood like Hyundai, especially during the nighttime, like the nightlife here is really crazy and Korean go there especially to talk with foreigners. But like if you just like walk around in the school, like Korean won't approach you in public space because I feel like it's not something you do in Korea. You just like let people walk and be like alone in the kind of space in public areas.
I don't know if you remember when we were at the first festival we did at Korea University.
Yeah.
We wanted to go closer to the stage because we wanted to be like integrated with Korean people, like to enjoy more and more. But however, we were like moved out from the main place and put on some high stages. But we were like 100 or maybe 200 meters far away from the stage, which are really far for us. They want to bring foreigners in their school, but they don't want to give them like that much liberty or that much possibilities.
For example, in Yonsei, there is a buddy group program for foreign students, but from what I've understood, that's the students who organized it. Whereas in France, in our school, for example, we just received an email yesterday, and that's the school who proposed to the students to be a buddy and to like explain to foreign students when they come, like how it is in France. And yeah, so the school is organizing all of that, whereas here you feel that it's more like from the students than from the school.
So I never went to university in Korea as an undergraduate, but I did go to Sogang University language school and studied with other foreign language students. I can say that it was fairly difficult to get out of the foreigner bubble and meet the other Korean students at the university. I do find that a lot of the Korean students tend to stick to their own groups, and it can feel kind of difficult to get into their groups, especially if you don't approach them first in Korean, and most Korean students will not approach foreigners first and say hi. Perhaps this can be kind of difficult for shy people coming to Korea. Also, I didn't find any programs that allowed us to meet other Korean students, and there wasn't any kind of buddy system organized by the university, which was kind of weird because I was studying at that university to learn Korean to eventually speak it with Koreans. So when they say that it's difficult for foreign students who don't speak Korean to meet other Korean students, I understand where they're coming from. It makes sense. But I don't think that the universities are trying to restrict the freedoms of the foreign students in any way. Also, of course, if you can get to a conversational level of Korean, it will become a lot easier to meet other Korean students. If you can speak Korean, student clubs are a great way to meet other Korean students. Let's keep going with the video though.
I want to just add that the school still has like welcomed us very well, so they have like accompanied like us the whole like journey. So like we've been really happy in this school and in this campus, and we like really felt like as part of Yonsei. And that's also like why we want to like meet other Yonsei students and feel like we're part of it.
Yeah.
Like I really wanted to like get to know Korea and then to meet also Korean people. So like I tried to interact and I've like made 2 friends, but it wasn't through school that I've met them.
My only Korean friend, I met her in the club, so the school didn't help with that, obviously.
Club is a good way to like...
Club is the best way to meet Koreans. Okay.
It's not the most formal way, and you'll meet like very different people, but it's a good way. I feel like just hanging out like in the street, in some like neighborhood like on day, you meet people.
And what are you about? You look like
girls, I think they know that, but I have one location that I can give to if you want to encounter like
what is it?
many people with many origins. It's called Thursday Party in Anglais. Thursday Party.
That's really the best language exchange.
For me, it's the best bar. Really good prices, really handsome and cool people. You're really gonna enjoy if you are going there.
But you have to know that if Koreans go there, it's because they have intention behind it. It's like they're just not just going there to speak English and like meet foreigners.
What intention? You just like
dating in a foreigners kind of way, in a Korean perspective.
And more if they can.
I met a girl like at Olive Young. It wasn't expected at all. Like she just came and complimented me, and then we became friends. Like go and talk to people, even if it's to say just something silly or something.
Yeah, you never know. It could lead to a friendship.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot to unpack here. Basically, they're saying that the only Korean friends they were able to make were outside of school, mostly while out drinking at bars like Thursday Party. I think this is a great example of a difference between students who have only been living in Korea for a few months and someone like me who's been living in Korea for many years. Since I'm a YouTuber, I've been able to meet a lot of other Korean friends who are also YouTubers. I've also met a lot of Korean friends through offline language exchanges, and like the French students in this interview, I've also made friends out partying at places like Thursday Party. I would say the easiest way to make friendships with Koreans would be to use an app like meetup.com, or if you can speak Korean, 소모임. However, perhaps using apps like these to find meetups is not an obvious thing for new expats in Korea to do. Meetup culture isn't as developed in other places as it is here in Korea. You can find a meetup group for almost anything: Bitcoin, language exchange, coding, hiking, board games. I would say that it's pretty easy to make friends in Seoul. Again though, I also speak fluent Korean, so I think that's a big difference. Another thing the students say is that a lot of people at Thursday Party or bars like this are really only interested in hooking up or dating. And that's not really surprising because these kinds of bars are pretty well known for hunting. It's not impossible to make friends there, but it's probably not the easiest place to make friends. Again, better to use meetup.com or 소모임, or go to church or festivals or other events. Also, of course, once you make 1 or 2 good Korean friends, you'll start to meet their friends and their friends' friends naturally. However, I understand what these guys are saying. In my first year in Korea, I didn't really have any other Korean friends besides the coworkers I had at my hagwon, and outside of that, all my friends were other foreign English teachers. If you're new to Korea and you don't speak Korean and you don't know about meetup culture, it makes sense that you would go to places like Hongdae or Itaewon or Gangnam and go to international bars and try to meet people there. But these places have their pros and cons.
For example, like the girl you just interviewed like a few minutes ago, she has like her aunt who came to Korea 10 years ago in Ewha University, so like the new university really close to Yonsei, and she was saying that she was like not the first foreigners, but there were like really fewer foreigners than now. So like since 10 years, they've been like progressively adapting and like encountering like with foreigners, but still I feel like it's really, foreigners represent like all the things maybe they don't necessarily know, and like they don't see you as like, okay, you're coming from France, from America, from Italy, from I don't know where, you're just a foreigner. So in a way it's good because there is like no discrimination based on where you're coming from, and in a way you're just like part of foreigners and representing them in a way.
There are some things here that I agree with and some things I don't agree with. Yes, Korea is not as diverse as the US or England or Australia or South Africa. Also, I agree that all foreigners can often get lumped into the 외국인 category, when in reality, a Brazilian person is extremely different from a Russian person, culturally speaking. So while I do agree that this is an appearance thing, I think when many Koreans do meet you and actually talk to you, one of the first questions they will ask you is, where are you from? Which just goes to show you that Koreans are really interested in other cultures and other countries. I guess you could get annoyed by the term 외국인 if your parents are foreign, but you grew up in Korea and you speak native Korean. Culturally, you would feel like a Korean person, but since you don't look Korean, people would walk up to you and maybe speak English and think of you as a foreigner. However, the vast majority of foreigners in Korea don't speak Korean and are either tourists or teachers or military or students, and they're not really familiar with Korean culture. It's interesting that she says that they don't discriminate against foreigners because to them, all foreigners are in the same category. That's a tough one, and I don't think I agree with it. I've heard stories from Southeast Asian people or black people in Korea who say that they experience more discrimination than white foreigners, but I can't speak to this personally. Let's keep going though.
And because sometimes I feel like they can have prejudice on us, like we're really open-minded or like in a Hongdae style kind of way.
Okay.
But also beside that, sometimes we're just like not respectful or like in public transport talking really loudly. And because of all these things, when we talk to them, they're like on defensive mode or like they don't know really how to approach us because we represent people who don't have their codes. Like they have a lot of codes, yeah, and a lot of respect, and we don't know all the things.
The social rules.
Like not taking your shoes off, like in some it can seem stupid, but like we don't
It's an
do
example.
it. Yeah, it's an example. We don't do it like on purpose, but because we don't know this way, when that happen, I feel like they can be like, oh, these are foreigners, so it's okay. But it contributes to the prejudice.
Interesting. So when she says that foreign women are seen as easy, again, I can't speak to this personally, but I have heard that a lot from women I've interviewed during street interviews. I guess my solution would be not to spend too much time at clubs or hookup bars. You'll definitely have a better time meeting a serious Korean friend or romantic partner if that's what you want at a meetup group or a language exchange or a church. It's interesting that she says that there's a stereotype of foreigners being ignorant. Personally, if I'm on the subway and I see other foreign tourists being loud, I do tend to get embarrassed because I don't want the Korean passengers to associate me with those noisy tourists. I'd like to think though that as time goes on, people like me, long-term Korean-speaking expats in South Korea, are becoming more common and the stereotype of foreigners in Korea is becoming more nuanced. It really all comes down to learning Korean though. Once you learn Korean, Koreans will see you as less of a tourist and more like someone who's really serious about living here long-term. Of course, there will be a small group of Koreans who don't want anything to do with foreigners, but why would you want to be friends with these people anyway? Also, those type of people exist in every country. In my experience, the majority of Koreans would love to connect with a Korean-speaking foreigner. I have a great relationship with my landlord, the old Korean lady who works at the convenience store near me, my Korean friends and colleagues, and of course, I'm dating a Korean girl. All of these people know me and they know my personality and they don't just see me as a foreigner. However, again, I can totally see where these French exchange students are coming from. I can see how they came to these conclusions, and I think this kind of opinion is common for someone who's only been living here for a few months. In America, more people small talk on buses, elevators, and coffee shops. In the West, it's less weird to walk up to someone you don't know and say hi. Also, learning Korean is definitely not easy, so I can sympathize with them on that point. I honestly think they just need more time in Korea. They need time to understand the culture, the language, and find a group of people who share their interests.
Korean people are not that friendly with foreigners and that we are really separated from Korean. I don't think it's a bad thing. Like, I understand they just want to preserve their nation. I think they kind of want to protect their people, and I can understand it. I think maybe they're right.
I wouldn't say they're not friendly or kind to us at all. Like, I would say they're really willing to help in any way. They're willing to help you, but there will just still be a barrier between like Korean and foreigners.
Yeah.
They're like, there is a limit to the relationship you can make. There really is a limit, and the limit is like, okay, even if you know Korean, there will still be a limit because you're foreigners. But it doesn't like take away from the fact that they're really super kind and we've met like really nice people.
Maybe a part of that comes from the fact that it's a very respectful nation.
Yeah.
I think I've never been to a country where people are that respectful of everything and everyone. Like, you will never see a paper thrown on the floor. To me, it's really impressive, and I think that's maybe why it's difficult for us to integrate. And I think that's also maybe why they don't really want foreigner people to come in their country and just mix completely with them, because they know that we are not that respectful.
But still, I think like in a few years, maybe it will change because like more and more people are coming here. And
Younger people too.
Yeah, younger people. And like even people in France, they're starting to learn Korean before coming here, and just because they're interested in it. So I think it's really good.
Cool.
Nothing to add.
All right. So she says that Koreans want to protect their culture and therefore don't want to mix with foreigners. I can't speak to small towns and cities and the countryside of Korea, but in Seoul, I haven't really felt like many Koreans didn't want to mix with me. I'm a pretty talkative person, and whenever I try to make small talk with anyone around me, they're actually really excited and open to talk to me about anything and everything. They're thrilled to meet a Korean-speaking foreigner, and they have so many questions for me. However, I think a lot of foreigners who are new to Korea can see that Koreans aren't really into small talk with strangers in the street or in coffee shops or in restaurants. I think a lot of Koreans in public or university campuses can have an emotionless or expressionless face. 그런 무뚝뚝한 표정? You just have to be the first to break the ice with people in your community, because most Koreans aren't going to be like, hey, how's it going? How's the weather today? That's more of a Western style of small talking with strangers. Also, I don't think she can really say, even if you know Korean, Koreans don't want to mix with you. If she hasn't learned Korean herself, that's not really a fair comparison to make. But again, as I said many times throughout this video, I totally understand why she might feel like that and how she came to that conclusion. Because when I first came to Korea, there were many times when I felt like an outcast, like I didn't understand anything that people were talking about, no one wanted to interact with me. I thought it must be because I'm a foreigner. And again, there are a small amount of people who don't want to interact with foreigners, even if they do speak Korean, but that's not the majority by any means. In terms of actually becoming a Korean, I felt at times whenever I hear the phrase 우리나라 사람, I felt, that will never be me. But that's all right. And at this point in my life, I don't need to be Korean in order to enjoy my life here. Thank you so much. This has been amazing. It's not all good. It's not all bad. It's complicated. And we love it.
Yeah, we love it.
It was your experience, and it's not wrong. It just is. It just is. All right, guys.
I will come back.
You will come back. She's coming back.
I will too.
She's coming back.
I don't think so.
All right, that's his choice. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun to make, and it really made me think about my life and my experience in Korea. If you like this kind of video, please let me know in the comments down below. Once again, I'm Sean, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean. So I'm here today at the DMZ. This is one of the most dangerous borders in the world. And I've been living in Korea for 8.5 years, and today is actually my first time being here, which is kind of incredible, but I'm really excited. My girlfriend and I decided to go on a tour of the DMZ, which provided a shuttle bus to and from Seoul, and a complete guided tour with an experienced tour guide. It was only 80,000 won, and they offered tours in both Korean and English. But what is the DMZ? The DMZ, or Demilitarized Zone, came into existence as a result of the Korean War, which lasted from 1950 to 1953. The war divided the Korean peninsula into two separate nations, Communist North Korea and Capitalist South Korea. In 1953, an armistice was signed, establishing a temporary ceasefire and creating a demilitarized buffer zone. Despite its tense military presence, the DMZ has also served as a site for peace talks and diplomatic exchanges. Today, the DMZ stands as a reminder of the divided Korean peninsula and the ongoing tensions between the two nations. However, it also represents the possibility of peace and reunification in the future. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19 restrictions, we won't be able to visit the JSA, or Joint Security Area, or in Korean, Panmunjang. But there are so many other amazing things to see in the DMZ tour. So I actually found out today that the DMZ tour is one of the most popular tours in South Korea, and I took a shuttle bus here with some other foreigners. I was so curious as to why they decided to come here and not Jeju or Busan or some other place in South Korea. Why here? So let's go ask some people why they decided to come see this part of South Korea. Let's do it. Hey guys, where are you from?
We're from Australia.
We're from the Netherlands.
Yeah, same.
Oh, I'm good. I'm from Germany.
The DMZ tour is actually one of the most popular tours in South Korea. But as you know, it's one of the most dangerous borders in the world. You could go anywhere. You could go to a PC방, you could go to Busan, you could go to Jeju. Maybe you have gone to some of these places. But why come here?
It's just a piece of history that we don't really get anywhere else. And
Right.
we're just very interested by the border itself. So
I think it's the modern version of the Cold War, and it's cool to learn something about North Korea, about South Korea, the difference they had and they still have. Better than watch it on Discovery Channel. Yeah, but it doesn't feel
dangerous.
Yeah, as I said, I'm coming from Germany, and I spent my childhood in the eastern part of Germany.
During the Cold War.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, that scenery and that situation reminds me a little bit at the time when Germany was still divided. So of course it's quite different here. It's probably more dangerous.
Yeah.
So I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And I went to Berlin. You know, the city of Berlin was divided by the Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
And I could just, as I doing it here, look over the fence and see the western part.
Yeah.
And it was always my dream one time to see the rest of the world.
And so you're coming here to see two countries that are still at war. They still have a wall.
Exactly, and I'm hoping the best for the Korean people, that they will also overcome the situation one day.
Do your family think you're crazy for going to the border of North Korea?
No, not really.
No.
No. It's one of the highlights of the country as well, so
Yeah.
that's interesting.
I think it's more safe than going to Israel. A lot of people go to Israel as well, so I think Korea is quite safe. Of course, we are all worried about that because we are listening to the news, what's going to happen with the missile tests, what they are doing in the northern part. But I think it's pretty well protected for the visitors here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel safe, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's actually 4 tunnels that were discovered, 4 official tunnels that the North Korean soldiers created underground to try to secretly enter South Korea, perhaps attack South Korea, attack Seoul, the president here. We're going to enter a tunnel now, and it's man-made, and it's actually quite long. My wonderful tour guide was explaining that when South Korea first discovered these tunnels, the North Koreans lied and said that no, it was the South Koreans that made this. And then as we found more tunnels, we found 2, 3, 4 tunnels. So after we discovered this many tunnels, the North Koreans actually changed their story. They said, oh no, these are mining tunnels. But if we look at history and we know that they actually attempted to do this, they actually entered South Korea in the 60s, the late 60s, to secretly attack Park Chung-hee. So it's very obvious they're lying a lot, but we're actually gonna see these man-made tunnels. It's pretty incredible. I'm excited. Let's do it. Yeah, so we just got out of the first location, the tunnel. It was pretty insane. Unfortunately, we couldn't film in there. They told us not to, but it was really steep, right?
Yeah.
Really long.
Yeah, we had to walk with our backs down like this.
Yes, right. Really wet. It was like super underground, really long. It was kind of impressive. And I had to bend down like this because I'm really tall.
Yeah.
And then we saw the fake black mark on the wall where they, you know, apparently they're mining there, right? Look, here's the sign. It's all fake, it's all lies.
Yeah,
but
they made an excuse.
But really interesting, really impressive. Let's go to the next location.
Yeah.
Okay, so this area is really awesome. This is the observatory. We can actually see North Korea over that way. And this is really cool because there's actually a 4-kilometer area where no humans can go. We can't really build anything there. No one can go there. The reason is there's so many landmines. It's actually very dangerous to go in there. But what's also really interesting is that for this whole time there's landmines, it's dangerous. No humans can go there. The nature, the animals are thriving, they're flourishing. This whole kind of DMZ zone, it goes all the way from the west to the east of Korea. So it's very long, and towards the east there's thriving, flourishing wildlife. So you can see it here. It's a bit of a cloudy day, but it's very incredible. We can actually see North Korea, and I'm gonna show you guys now the fake North Korean propaganda village. Actually, some of the windows are painted on. A lot of the buildings on the inside don't even have floors. They created it to show the people in South Korea how well they're living. Look everyone, we're living so well. We have this amazing town that we're living in. This village, by the way, is called Kijeongdong, and there's actually a very large flag in the middle of it. The reason why this is so tall is because the North Koreans saw the South Koreans raise a flag and they didn't want to be outdone. They wanted to raise their flag higher to show their superiority. So far, this has been one of my favorite parts of the tour, and I'm starting to see why this is such a popular tour for people visiting Korea. Cool, let's now go to the next location. I wanted to share with you guys some other really interesting facts about the DMZ and this area of South Korea. My tour guide was telling me that there's a very small village in South Korea called Daesongdong. Like around 200 people, and these are farmers and families of farmers that have been living in this village since even before the Korean War. And the interesting thing is that these people pay no taxes at all, and the men in these village do not have to go to military in South Korea because all men in South Korea actually have to go to military. Also, the rice in this part of the country is very famous. So because they don't have to pay taxes and they're making very delicious rice and they're selling it to a bunch of people around here, they actually make a lot of money. They live really well.
Average income from their harvest is about $90,000.
Which is really good compared to the rest of the country on average. It's the only area in this restricted zone of the DMZ that people are allowed to live, citizens, but they actually have a curfew. They're not allowed out after 11 p.m. There's a lot of rules, it's very strict. But if you're not born in this small village, you're not allowed to move there, you're not allowed to live there. Only people who have already been living there can continue to live there and, you know, have families there. Overall, this was such a fun experience. I've always been interested in history. It makes so much more sense now why this is such a dangerous area and why it's such a popular area too for tourists. All right, guys, that's all I have for this video. Overall, it's been an amazing experience. I've learned so much about the history, about the relations of North and South Korea, and even just the nature here, the fresh air, it's been amazing. And while you're in the DMZ area, here are some other great places you can visit. First, we have Camp Greaves, just 2 kilometers from the DMZ's southern limit. This former US base has been transformed by Gyeonggi Province into a unique peace and reunification experience center offering cultural and artistic activities. Next is the Imjinggak Peace Gondola, a unique way to view the region from above, connecting the civilian transit line for the first time and allowing visitors to take in the tranquil views while pondering the region's historical significance. Lastly, visit Imjinggak Peace Nuri Park, a cultural space representing reconciliation, coexistence, and hopes for peace and reunification. If you haven't come to see the DMZ to go on a tour, I highly recommend it. The tours are very organized. You learn so much. You can ask so many questions. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. All right, guys. Once again, I'm Sean, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean. So I'm here today at Yeoju Shinleuksa. This is a very unique temple, one of the only ones built right next to a river, and there's so much to see today. As many of you know, I'm living in Seoul, and although I love the conveniences of living in the ultra-modern city, sometimes the busy lifestyle and the crowds of people are just too much. I often crave being in nature, and although Seoul has many nice mountains and parks, those are also often crowded with locals and tourists. So me and my girlfriend decided to skip the crowds and check out a completely free temple called Shinleuksa, close by in Yeoju, Gyeonggi-do. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. I'm so excited because I can get my recharge of nature, see some historical architecture, ride a boat on a beautiful river, and try some of the famous noodles that this area is known for. What a perfect day trip we have in store. All right, guys, I'm ready to go. I'm so excited. Let's do it. Hundreds of years ago, temples served, of course, as a place of worship, but also as centers for education, community, and politics. Temples served many roles for the community and the area surrounding the temple. Shinleuksa is unique because it's one of the only temples built next to a river. It also happens to be home to many unique historical treasures. This is a pagoda. There are many pagodas here at the Shinleuksa temple, but these are used to kind of like concentrate the energy, the good energy of this land and of the river. But this is actually really unique, this one, because it is the only pagoda that remains from the Goryeo dynasty in Korea. So it's pretty historic. It's cool to see this up close. It's very big. But if you look here at this boat, from what I understand, this used to be a very popular trading area a long time ago. A lot of traders would come to meet here. And so you can see that boat right there represents the trading era of this area that this place used to kind of serve as. Really beautiful, holy moly. Many historians believe that this temple was built by Wonhyo Taesa, a monk and scholar living around the year 640. Legend has it that there used to be a pond in this area, which was home to 9 dragons. Wonhyo Taesa prayed to these dragons and pleaded for them to let him build a temple here. After weeks of praying, the dragons were moved by his passion and flew away from the area, allowing him to build a temple here. You can see pictures of dragons painted around Shinleuksa. This tree is over 600 years old, and it's really awesome to see this because, as I said before, I'm living in Seoul. Everything's new, new buildings, new parks, even the nature's new, the grass is new, but this tree is so old. I feel like I'm kind of connecting with older Korea. And it's hard to see this, especially as a tourist, you know, to see the traditional Korea. And so if you see here, people are writing down their wishes and tying it to this wire because this tree kind of represents good luck, good fortune. So there's just a good energy around here. And on a beautiful day like today, it's providing shade. It's just really cool. After some sightseeing, we were in need of some shade and a cool drink, and luckily there's a nice cafe within the temple area. Cheers, babe. All right, we finished our drinks now, and we just took a whole tour around the beautiful Shilluksa temple area, the beautiful river. It was awesome. And now we're gonna take a boat ride. Exactly, and it's so hot out right now. Middle of the summer. I can't think of a better way to cool down and enjoy the nature at the same time than taking a boat ride. Let's do it. Hey, so we just got to the boat and we're gonna depart soon. I'm ready to see this view. Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Wow, this is definitely one of the highlights of the trip. I feel like I'm on the Titanic. Except we're not gonna crash, right? No, just kidding. But this is really, really cool, refreshing. The wind feels so good. Over that way, we can see the Shilluksa kind of area which we just came from. But now we're just taking a mini tour of the land and the whole area of Yeoju. This is really incredible. This is definitely the highlight, I think, of the trip.
My favorite part.
Definitely my favorite part so far. Awesome. Wow, so we did so much today already. We walked through Shilluksa, we saw the old tree, we saw the beautiful temples and the pagodas. Of course, we went on the boat ride. That was amazing. I'm curious, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part was riding on the boat.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
It was really like refreshing, really cool. The wind was so amazing.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, and there was so much nature. It was almost like I was looking at Korea 500 years ago. Like a 옛날 Korean 모습.
맞아.
I think my favorite part was also the boat ride. Definitely the highlight of the trip. Yeah. But just in general, like the nature here is just so amazing. You go to some place like Seoul Forest, Olympic Park, Namsan Tower. There's so many other tourists. You know, everybody knows about it. It's very crowded. Of course, it's beautiful. But you come here and there's so much space. There's not a lot of other people. Of course, there's some people, but you can see so much more space and it's like more privacy. I think this is such a hidden gem. A lot of people don't know about this place, Shilluksa, riding the boat and this area in general. I think this is such an amazing day trip. And now I'm starving.
Me too.
Yeah, but actually this area is famous for makguksu,
Yeah?
noodles.
Really?
Yeah, actually it's interesting. A long time ago, there was a lot of trading done here. And this area became famous. The traders started to eat makguksu here a lot. So people came here, like, oh, 여기 막국수 유명해요. And so yeah, this area is now famous for that. So I'm hungry. You want to go eat some?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm hungry. We've been walking all day and now we're ready to eat. This is actually my first time eating makguksu.
Oh, yeah?
I never had this before. Yeah, how do I eat this?
Just mix it.
Okay. Mix it.
It's gonna a little bit spicy.
Okay, that's okay. So this is the famous food in this area. So we're just gonna mix it. Let's try it, all right? Really good. Wow. Have some of this meat. Oh. Really good. Oh. It's really good after like a hot day, right? So good. Yummy. Hey guys, so I wanted to show you guys an extra place you can visit while you're here at Shilluksa in Yeoju. So this is actually the tomb of King Sejong. He's the most famous king in Korean history. Koreans already know this, but for the foreigners watching this, just so you know, Sejong created the Korean writing system. He created Hangul, which is one of the easiest writing systems to learn. It changed Korean education. So on top of being able to see Sejong's tomb, you can see here he's underneath that kind of circular sphere-shaped thing that's jutting up above the ground. You can just see this amazing view. It's really rewarding. Probably some of the nicest nature I've seen in Korea. It's absolutely gorgeous. And you probably don't have to go to the gym if you come here. This was a nice walk to get up here. Took about 25 minutes and a bit of uphill. So you can skip the gym if you come here today. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little extra bit, this extra sightseeing destination very close to Shinluksa. All right guys, I had so much fun today. If you've never been to Shinluksa in Yeoju, Gyeonggi-do, definitely check it out. It's pretty easy to get here, definitely a great day trip, and there's so much to do and see and eat. All right guys, once again, I'm Sean. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.